Hello and welcome to RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you for tuning in, and whether you're watching on Racing America on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time or watching us on YouTube or our website, RaceDayNation.com. The show is presented by Rhino Classifieds. Sell fast and list for free at Rhino.co. So we appreciate those guys coming on each and every week. Right there, you can see all the information for their website. So please, check them out. You're looking for a car, you're looking for some race parts, you're looking for some things that you may need in the automotive world, there's a classified for you. It's Rhino.co. All right, again, I'm Rob D'Amico. You can follow along on social media at Rob D'Amico, anywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I do have TikTok, but I don't really use TikTok. Come on. I'm over 50. What do you want from me, right? All right, but I'm there. So it's Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO. All right, so we're getting the show started here. And don't forget our website, RaceDayNation.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter as well. I recommend that because we're going to start sending that one out here. So I'm just building up the audience here, and then we'll start sending out some content probably for the new year as well. So we've got some new things coming up in the new year as well with this show that we'll get into later on in the year, in the off season. But you can do that with our newsletter. So you'll see that coming up here shortly. All right, let's get into it because there's a lot going on. Crazy Bristol over the weekend. That was nutty. We'll get into all that action there, the trucks, Xfinity, and the Cup guys. The big announcement that did happen was last week, Tuesday, the day of the show. But unfortunately, I record the show before that 8 p.m. mark in the evening time, so we did not get to play any of the audio from Kyle Busch and the big RCR announcement, so we're going to do that right now. So here is Kyle Busch finally making the worst-kept secret an announcement at the Hall of Fame, NASCAR Hall of Fame.
I had to find a place where I knew I can go win races immediately. Collecting trophies is still the main reason why I get up every day and go to the racetrack in order to do this every week. I also needed a place where I felt like I could hit reset and I could be welcomed just as I am. This change will allow for a clean slate, and that's big for me and my family. A new team, a new teammate, new teammates, most importantly, a new boss who accepts where I've been and yet can help me get to where I want to be. Every option I considered had a lot of its own advantages, and that's why it made it to be such a challenge. That's why it took a while, but at the end of the day, one team and one owner emerged as the clear choice. The second I sat down with him, I knew his company and his people and the culture around there had the ability to compete for championships from day one. So now for the moment you all couldn't wait for, I'm excited to announce that I'll be taking my talents to welcome North Carolina to drive the number 8 car for Richard Childress Racing starting in 2023. I'd like to introduce you to my new boss, Richard Childress.
All right, made the big announcement there. Congratulations to him. And I think it's a great fit. Listen, the guy had a guy, Richard Childress had a guy like Dale Earnhardt there, who is a guy that, can get the job done, was probably really aggressive. And some say, love him or hate him. The same situation with here, Kyle Busch. Love her or hate him, here he is. He's with the team. Now here's RCR talking about that at the announcement here in the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Man, when all the rumors started and you'd walk through the race shop, the excitement just in people's voice when they would ask me, our employees would say, is Kyle Busch really coming here and driving? I said, man, I don't know. But today it's official, and for that group at RCR, I bet they're up there. I hope they're up there watching this right now. I bet they are excited to know that you're going to be the driver of that 8 car. And man, what a special moment there for these guys. It's seriously, the guys back at the shop, they got a champion coming over, winner of 200 races, the knowledge he brings with the Joe Gibbs stuff. And I'm sure, listen, technically they're not allowed to talk about that kind of stuff, but listen, we all know what happens. It's the worst kept secrets in those garages. If you have any advantage, we heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking about it here on the show a couple weeks ago about how these are the worst kept secrets in NASCAR, and I'm sure they will bring some of that over as well. But listen, I also have a clip here of Austin Dillon
at Bristol Motor Speedway in the media center, talking about his new teammate and how this all came about behind the scenes. Some great insight here. So check this out and listen to Austin Dillon.
Yeah, we just, after the Tyler announcement, it was about, what's the future of the RCR look and where do we go from here? And, in my mind, there was one guy in free agency that was, anybody would love to have him. And it comes to a driver standpoint and something he can bring and elevate your competition side right off the bat. And he moves the needle when it comes to marketing. He really does. He's got a huge fan base. So for me, it was just talking to my grandfather and say, hey, what do you think about Kyle? And he came back with, you think he'd want to drive for us? And I'm like, well, why not? We got fast cars and, good equipment. And truthfully, when it comes to Kyle, he just wants to go fast and win races. And it's the same thing that my grandfather wants.
Yeah, it's very true. Listen, they all want that one thing, and Kyle Busch brings that to the table, whether it's a driver who likes to go fast, a driver who knows how to drive a car. He's a driver's driver. He's a guy that you can love or hate. It's a guy that Austin Dillon will now lean on a little bit to say, hey, what am I missing here? What did I do wrong? How can you help me? Those kind of things are going to take place behind the scenes. Now, what's going to be interesting is when there is an issue, the car's not fast enough, Kyle's getting pissed, or there's other things going on with personalities and things behind the scenes. So it'll be neat to see how that plays out and that aspect of how this all is going to take place for 2023. Because, listen, there are going to be ups and downs. There's no doubt about it. Here's part 2 of Austin Dillon in the Bristol Media Center talking about how they got Kyle Busch over to RCR.
So he said, all right, let me think about it. About 30 minutes later, he texted me or called me. He said, hey, why don't you just reach out to him, see what he'd say? I said, okay. So I texted Kyle and then gave him a call and we talked. And it was like same kind of conversation with Kyle. You think he wants me to drive for him? Like, yeah, that's why I'm calling you. It's a great opportunity for both of them. And for me, especially, as a teammate, I get to learn a lot from him. And the people in our shop are really excited to have a guy with his kind of experience, a 2-time champion, over 200 wins. It's awesome. I think it's great for RCR. And that, in the end, that's what makes me happy. We want to make the Welcome North Carolina race team compete at the top each and every weekend and be looked at as a competitor. And we're on an upward trajectory, so we got to keep that going.
No doubt about that. All right, we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back. We're talk about the trucks at Bristol, night racing at Bristol. Fantastic racing going on. And that's all coming up next right here on RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Stick around. We'll see you in a minute. All right, welcome back. It's Rob D'Amico, RaceDay Nation. Thank you so much for joining us. I mentioned it. We're talking about trucks at Bristol. Fantastic racing going on. So let me get into the results here for the truck series. And we had Ty Majeski getting his first career win. Congratulations at night in that Thor truck. So congratulations goes out to him in that Road Ranger Toyota truck with Thor Motorsports getting his first career win, as I mentioned, in the Camping World Truck Series. And it was his debut here at Bristol. So congratulations to him and Joe Shear Jr., his crew chief. If it was his 14th top 10 finish in 2022 and his first career victory here at Bristol. So congratulations goes out to the entire team. So let's take a look at what it looked like in the rest of the field. Second was Zane Smith. Parker Kligerman was third. Grant Infinger was fourth. Matt Crafton fifth. Derek Kraus was sixth. Seventh, Stuart Friesen, Kristen Eckes, Chandler Smith, and Corey Heim round out the top 10 there. So congratulations to all those guys. Great run and some great racing going on. So we'll go into the media center here, and we're going to talk to Ty Majeski because what was on his mind first? Was it winning here at Bristol or winning to get to Phoenix for the Final Four?
I think a little bit of both. I think the 8 championship contenders came into Bristol really wanting to win the race. Obviously, no one wants to go to Talladega not locked into Phoenix. It's such a huge wild card, and we brought our best truck here and put our best effort we could into winning this race because we knew, given the amount of playoff points we have, and we knew winning Bristol was our easiest avenue, obviously. So, obviously, hard to win these races, right? You've got to execute on all levels and at the right time, and it's difficult to do that. So, just proud of everybody at ThorSport, Road Ranger. This is such a cool win for us. To win at Bristol under the lights, as a short track guy like me, this is a dream come true.
And what was cool about that is he's became this is where drivers get their first wins at Bristol. So he's joined with some great a great audience, if you will, with first time winners at Bristol. And those guys, let me see if I have the graphic here to pull that up. Yeah, so Ty Majeski becomes the 7th different first-time winner at Bristol Motor Speedway. It was Chandler Smith back in 2021, Sam Mayer in 2020, Ben Kennedy in 2016, Brad Keselowski, we'll be talking to him a little bit later on in the show, in 2014, Rick Corelli in 1996, and Joe Ruttman back in 1995. So congratulations again, Ty Majeski getting the win. And he also is the first winner out of the Alan Kulwicki Driver Development Program. Here he is talking about that.
That's a big reason why I did my Polish victory lap down the front stretch. 2015 was really the season that catapulted my career. That was, of course, the inaugural season for the Kulwicki Driver Development Program, and we went on to win, 20-some races that year, set the track record at the Snowball Derby, ran, inside the top 3 that whole race, and I feel like that was a season where, we were really getting some people in the NASCAR community to recognize me, and the Kulwicki Driver Development Program was a big part of that, and so cool to win here at Bristol. I'm so glad that it came at a racetrack like this. That's meant so much to Alan. It's just it's really cool. Tom Roberts, he always keeps up with me. We keep in touch. He runs that program, and it's just so cool to sort of see it come full circle and be able to do that Polish victory lap. It's pretty cool.
No doubt, man. Great job on your part, and congratulations to the entire team. Catapults him to the top 4 for Phoenix for the season finale for the Truck Series race. So great stuff going on there. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Xfinity results. Don't forget, we also have truck points coming up. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I want to get the results out here first as we move up to the Cup Series and get that results, because things got a little crazy with an elimination race on the line there. So a lot of drama to go over. So stick around. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. All right, we're back. It's RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. We're talking about Xfinity Series, and we're going to get into the results with that race going out there at Bristol. And another great night race at Bristol. Props to the crowd that was out there. Great stuff. I know there was a big football game not too far away as well, and a big event with the racing, with another 100,000 people getting to the stands. And over that weekend, you had probably 100 plus. So congratulations to Bristol. It looked great on television. All right, the Xfinity Series, we're going to get into the results here. But I do want to make mention we had a ton of short cautions at the very beginning. You saw Brandon Jones, who we'll get into here at the end as well, him finishing second. He had to drive around with his window net, with his arm on the window net, because it was coming down, and unfortunately, you can't drive around like that. So NASCAR would have pulled him in. Luckily, a caution came out. Landon Castle had something break in the right front, taking him out of playoff contention. Unfortunately for him, very tough night for him. At lap 129, this is pretty interesting. Television was talking about Ryan Sieg and how on Monday he was out of the playoffs, and on Tuesday he was back in the playoffs because of the whole Jeremy Clemens thing. Had pushed him out, kept him in, pushed him out. All that stuff, all the drama going on. But Clemens back in there now. Ryan Sieg in there. We'll get into points here in a little bit. As they explained that Noah taps Ty Gibbs and takes him out, and Sheldon Creed, who was in the playoff contention as well, looking to get that win. And Ryan gets put back into the playoffs. So congratulations to Ryan Sieg. We'll get into points here in a minute. But what I want to make mention is this guy, Noah Gragson, man, 6th win of his season. That is the most of any junior motorsports driver. So congratulations to him. It is his third in a row. That's right, man. This guy is on fire right now. Noah Gragson getting it done. Here's the bizarre part of that. When he gets to victory lane or after any race, he seems to throw up right away. It's like something he does. He doesn't know if he's holding his breath or what's going on. Could it be fumes? I don't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is, but it's this weird thing that goes on. But got him back to victory lane. He is I wrote this down because I want to explain it, because he jumped out of the roof hatch. So he was a throwing up, roof hatch, fence climbing, cursing, beer chugging, victory lane burnout party animal. That explains him in about one sentence. But I look at this guy and I go, are we seeing this great character, developing and becoming something, or are we watching somebody as a train wreck? That's what I don't know yet. And I want to be cautious because I like seeing this and I love the personality, but I want to make sure there's nothing going on behind the scenes, that this guy has a little bit of a problem, and we're watching this train wreck happen. I know we've seen stuff like this before. Hopefully it's not the case, and it's just something, hey, listen, this guy's a great character, and he's great for the sport. So let's go into, you know what? I got to show you the quick results here. I mentioned it. Noah Gragson getting the win. Brendan Jones, again, earlier had trouble finishing second. Austin Hill, a rookie. Sam Mayer, Riley Herbst, A.J. Allmendinger, Josh Berry, Stefan Pearsons, Justin Allgaier, and Ryan Sieg round out the top 10. Congratulations to him. That was his first top 10 in the Xfinity Series at Bristol. All right, so let's take a listen to Noah Gragson in the press room about his win, with momentum and confidence coming his way.
Yeah, I think just the momentum and confidence it brings to not only myself but our team. There's a lot of momentum and confidence that come with wins, and you still have to work hard during the week, and Josh Wise has been a big part of that, Luke Lambert and the rest of the team. We have a really good, I don't want to say formula, but a really good thing going right now, and a really good, I don't know what the word would be, but just we're in a really good rhythm.
He's a little foggy after chugging
Monday
a beer.
Friday, and just feel like everything's kind of going right as far as the preparation side, and feel like we're all on the same page. My spotter, Tyler Mon's done a great job as well. So we just want to keep on getting playoff points. We want to keep getting wins, and the ultimate goal is to get to Phoenix and have a shot at the championship.
And as you should, man. You're on a roll, 6 wins on the season, and you're talking about 3 in a row. So I mentioned it before on the earlier in the segment here about him throwing up, and here he is. Somebody actually asked him in the press room what it is. Is he concerned about this situation?
Yeah, it's concerning my mom too. I don't know why it's going on. I don't know if I'm not breathing or what it is. Way back to 2016, K&N Racing, especially in these close races for the wins, I feel like I hold my breath. I don't know. I feel like, thinking about it, I've thought about it. Maybe I should go see a doctor, but
I would.
I've been so busy with racing that I'm probably going to hold off till the off season, but definitely need to figure out at least what's going on, because it's obviously not normal to throw up after a race. But I don't know if it's my breathing or, my indigestion and acid reflux and stuff. I have acid reflux to where I take Tums, and that helps it. But, I don't really know what's going on. So probably the off season, I'll try and look into it more.
I would definitely look into that. There's no doubt about that. We wish him the very best, and I don't wish anything bad upon this guy. He's got a great future ahead of him. Hopefully, when he moves to Petty GMS next year, he gets the right cars underneath him. We've got some rumors coming up about them as well later on in the show. Right now, we're going to take a break, and when I come back, we're going to talk about the Cup Series race and all the drama that happened at Bristol. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. And we're back. It's RaceDay Nation. Hi, I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Don't forget, this show is presented by Rhino Classified. Sell fast and list for free at rhino.co. Check them out online, whether it's racing parts, cars, trucks, you name it. One classified place you can go is rhino.co. All right, we're going to get into the Cup Series, and there was a lot of drama going on there because at the beginning of the race, there seemed to be a lot of tire problems with the Fords. And it may have seemed like more about the Penske's because Cindric had it, Blaney had it, and then you saw some of the other guys starting to have it with the Ford camp, and it was probably the way they were set up. And again, they've talked about this tire issue, is that the tires start out on a very low pressure. So you're doing the damage early, but the damage doesn't show up until the tire heats up and starts to build up pressure. That's when you have the problems that comes with the Fords. It was about 45 laps into these races. Then you saw the Toyotas have power steering problems. 2311 and Joe Gibbs Racing with Truex, Gibbs, and even Bubba Wallace all having trouble there. The biggest thing of this race was Kyle Busch having major engine trouble, killing his advancement in the NASCAR playoffs. I mean, there was oil and water coming out of those tailpipes and smoke. There was a lot going on, and you could tell the guy was just pissed off, and I don't blame him. Listen, he's trying to make the playoffs. It's his last year here. He's trying to make things happen, and that happens. Very unfortunate from him. But you did see all the tire problems, like I mentioned, Blaney. All the right fronts had issues. I mean, when you look at this picture, it looks like the guy on the back is hanging on for dear life. Yeah, they had some tire issues. And then there was a big crash that involved, I think, Reddick, Suarez, Austin Dillon. The RCR guys just did not have a great night. They ended up having some trouble. And again, we go back to Austin Dillon here looking like, man, did I just get eliminated from the playoffs? Or did I find out that Kyle Busch is my teammate next year? I just love that. All right, so let's take a look at the results for the Cup race here. It was Chris Beuscher getting to victory lane for his second career win. We're going to talk about that because it's his second career win since Pocono, which was about 223 races ago, and I think somebody mentioned it was 2,038 days ago. Not that he wanted to hear that, but he gets the win finally. And this is the first time, let me make mention of this. It's the first time since the playoff history that we've had no playoff driver win this round. So I think it was, let me see here, I wrote them all down. Eric Jones was one, Bubba Wallace, and now Chris Beuscher are the three guys in this round, making it no playoff drivers getting to victory lane. So making it very tough on these guys. We'll get into points here in a second. We'll continue with results here right now. Like I mentioned, Chris Beuscher, Chase Elliott second, who started from the back, had a terrible qualifying, made it all the way up there, and looked like he was going to battle it out there at the end, but just ran out of laps. William Byron is third, fourth, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson fifth, Ross Chastain sixth, A.J. Allmendinger, Cole Custer, Denny Hamlin, and Kevin Harvick, again, eliminated. Even though he had a decent finish, the top 10 was not enough and was eliminated from points. We're going to get into all the points coming up in the next two segments, so stick around for that. But right now, I want to go to the media center because what was great about this Chris Beuscher win is that now with Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, Brad got to come in as owner and talk about what this means for the team, what this means for Chris, and where he thinks things are going.
Really proud for him, really proud for his team, and I certainly wanted to win for myself, but that's if there's any solace, that's a good one to have. And I'll say for Chris, he's done such a great job growing this year, and I'm really proud to work with him and see that, and his focus is top level, and he deserves a lot of credit. This is not an easy race to win; it never has been. But it's a big race to win for your career. The Bristol Night Race is, a race that champions win. And, I think the growth that he's shown this year shows that he can be just that. So it's a big moment for him and a big moment for our company to be able to win races. It is really so important at this level. You're not relevant if you can't win races. So
that's right.
And if you're not relevant, you can't have sponsors. You can't have sponsors. You can't go to the racetrack every week. So we need to win. We need to win for our partners, and Fastenal is a key partner for us, and it's good to see them rewarded for their loyalty to us with a big win at a big race. So just a lot to be proud of today, even though, from the driver's side, I didn't get what I wanted out of it, but certainly a huge night for us.
It was indeed, and it's got to feel good that they're making some ground because they've been struggling. Through the summer, there were some issues. I know even Chris Beuscher, at one point, his car caught fire, so he struggled. But, man, he's been there and getting these top fives, and they're starting to pay off, and they paid off last night with a Bristol win. Here he is talking about that win and his second win of his career.
Been a lot of moments through the summer, really through the season, that we could add up and say we've been sneaking up on this. So it's nice to put together. Scott made a great call, and all day long, really, we got our track position after not qualifying as good as we had hoped, and got up front for a lot of the race and was able to run away with it at the end. And, I think about the Pocono win, and that one was special. But this has been the one where I would take over any other race, whether it's the 500, the Coke 600. This is the one I've wanted for forever, and that makes this one that much better, right? It's aside from all the numbers and the days passed since the last one, it just means that much more that this was the one that we did pull off.
Yeah, no doubt, and congratulations to you, the entire team. Roush, Fenway, Keselowski Racing, it's got to feel like a huge win and a weight off their back. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about points. First, we're going to hit the truck and Xfinity, and then Cup. So stick around. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. Welcome back. It's RaceDay Nation. Rob D'Amico here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, you can check us out on our website, RaceDayNation.com. You can sign up for our newsletter, follow us on social. All the links are there. All the old shows are there. Our podcasts are there. And all the news and rumor feeds are there as well. Please, again, sign up for the newsletter. You can follow me on social at Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO. The show is presented by Rhino Classified. Sell fast and list for free at rhino.co. All right, we're talking points, and I got to get this out of the way because I got a quick segment here, and then when we come back, we're going to be doing our Cup points because the playoff, there was an elimination race, a lot going on there. So let me get into the trucks. The trucks first. Congratulations again, Ty Majeski getting the win, catapulting himself to the Final Four going into Phoenix. So what does that look like for the points now? Chandler Smith is still on top. Zane Smith is 3 back. Stuart Friesen, Ty Majeski, who, by the way, it doesn't matter. He's on to the next round at the Final Four in Phoenix. John Hunter Nemechek, Kristen Eckes, Grant Infinger, Ben Rhodes, Matt Crafton, and Carson Hocevar round out your top 10. But it doesn't matter. It's only that top 8 where Ben Rhodes and above. You can see those guys there. So we'll have to see how it all plays out once we get, I think their next race is Talladega, which, again, that's why Ty wanted to get the win where he got the win, because if you go to Talladega, it is literally the unknown. That is one of those places, man, that anything can happen, and it usually does. So congratulations to him. He can sleep well till he gets to Phoenix. There's no doubt about that. All right, we'll move over to the Xfinity Series, and again, we saw this guy right here, Party Animal, Noah Gragson, get the victory lane for the 6th time this season. Oh, man, what a great feeling that must be. So now let's take a look at the points. Noah Gragson is on top. He's got he's got 2,051. Ty Gibbs is in second. He's got 2,038. Justin Allgaier. Then it's AJ Allmendinger, who, by the way, was the regular season champion. Congratulations to him. Josh Berry, Austin Hill, Brandon Jones, Jeremy Clemens, Sam Mayer, Daniel Hemrick, Riley Herbst, and Ryan Sieg getting in to the playoffs. Congratulations to him and that entire team. With Cowboy making that announcement that his crew chief Cowboy is making that announcement that he's leaving at the end of the year. This is important for those guys. So it means a lot to make the playoffs. Rod, Pam, the whole family, congratulations to all you guys. I'm buddies with those guys, and it really means a lot because they're a local, small team here in Atlanta where we broadcast from. So Really cool deal for them, and proud of those guys to make it in there, see that little team that compete. Same thing with Jeremy Clemens. Great job on his part, getting in there, making the playoffs, getting kicked out by NASCAR, but then fighting it and getting it overturned, and now in the playoffs. So a lot going on there. All right, we're going to take a break. I want to get into the Cup playoffs because there's a lot happening there. Who is in, who's out, who's moving on, who's not, and who's pissed, who loves each other. I don't know anymore, man. It's getting crazy, and Talladega. Well, Texas is on the agenda for those guys next. But then you got Talladega and some unknowns going to happen there as well. Road course coming up, and oh gosh, there's so much going on. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Cup playoffs. Playoffs? That's right. It's all coming up next right here on RaceDay Nation. We're back. This is RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Please follow me on social at Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO. Go to our website, RaceDayNation.com. Sign up for our newsletter. We appreciate you doing that. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube as well. That's at RaceDay Nation. You can also go to our website and see all the podcasts and make sure you get them downloaded to your iTunes and all that stuff. We do appreciate you doing that as well. And let's see here. Cup. We're talking Cup. Man, I got to be honest. There was a lot of drama going on. There were a lot of things happening at the end of that race that were making, Kyle had the engine trouble, that whole scene of him walking back to the hauler. It was just like you can tell the disappointment in him. Had that. I mean, I haven't seen an engine blow up like that in a while. And there it is, smoke, water and oil coming out the tailpipe. I mean, it was pretty bad of an engine expiring. So we'll have to see what that is all about. The big tire issue that we had, it really exposed the new car for they were talking about the load that it was putting on that front right corner. And it's probably a little bit of the teams. I'm not blaming the tires here as much as I am blaming the teams and setting the pressures low. And it's kind of this track. And then what we saw with the Joe Gibbs and 2311 guys with the power steering, there were some issues there that I thought with that extra load being put on there, that probably needs to be addressed moving forward. But we'll see. Ryan Blaney had the tire issues, got into the wall. You had Tyler Reddick getting in there. Now he's eliminated from there. You had, I mentioned Kyle. He was eliminated, so very unfortunate for these guys. So let's take a look at the points right now as they sit because they were reset after this elimination. So we have Chase Elliott back on top. Congratulations to him. Job well done. He was second last night at Bristol in the race. We're going to hear from him coming up next about the NASCAR scheduling that made the big announcement this week as well. So we had, like I mentioned, Chase Elliott on top. Joey Logano moves to second. Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez. God, he was so lucky to make it in after getting spun late. And just a lot of drama. And then Austin Cindric, he was the first one to have tire trouble. And everybody thought, oh, write this guy off. It is done for him. There's no way he's making the playoffs. But here he is, able to salvage something, make something out of it, and get the best results he possibly could getting up to the front. So who were the guys eliminated? Well, the big one to me was Kevin Harvick because Kevin Harvick ran strong all night and then had that trouble late. Still got back, had that, I think it was the front or left tire. Yeah. A driver's side tire come off in pit lane, backed it up. Wrong time to have those types of trouble, and that basically took him out of contention because he was up there. He started from the back and was able to make his way up to the front, and his presence was known. There's no doubt about that. So Kevin Harvick, one of those guys that are out. Then I mentioned it, Kyle Busch with the problems he had with the engine. Tyler Reddick having his issues, getting caught up in that late wreck. Austin Dillon, not a good night for RCR. These guys made a big announcement this week. Kyle Busch coming over. But the ups and downs of racing, and that is part of it. You have this big up that you're, getting a great champion caliber driver, and then two of your cars eliminated out of the playoffs just like that. So it's just one of those things, man, and it's Bristol, and that's what's great. You have coming up next in the next round, you have Texas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval. Man, you talk about, I'm telling you, you think, Texas, it's a mile and a half. This is an important race because you're going to be the want to be the driver to get the victory lane, so you don't have to worry about Talladega or the Roval, because at those two tracks, anything goes, and those drivers know it. The teams know it. The pit crew guys know it. Whatever you can do, the strategists know it. The engineers know it. The PR people, they all know it, right? Texas, you want to win, so you don't have to deal with Talladega or the Roval at Charlotte. All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we got news and rumors coming up. We're going to hear from Chase Elliott. We got news on Kyle Larson. We were talking about John Force over in the NHRA. That is all coming up next right here on RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Stick around. We'll see you on the next side. We're back and welcome. It's RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Don't forget the show is presented by Rhino Classifieds. List for free, sell fast. It's all at rhino.co. Let's get into our news and rumors here on the show. We'll hear from Chase Elliott here in a second about the big 2023 schedule for the NASCAR Cup Series. And for that matter, all three series were released. So we'll take a look at that here in a second. But first, I want to make mention about Kyle Larson. He signs a contract extension. The defending NASCAR champion, Kyle Larson, and sponsor HendrickCars.com have extended their relationship for 3 more years with Hendrick Motorsports after agreeing to concurrent contracts that run through 2026 racing season. So congratulations to these guys. Great job, HendrickCars.com. If you haven't been there, it's a pretty cool thing. Check those guys out. A lot of cars on there as well. And but you know what? This is a guy that is going to keep winning championships, and Hendrick knows that. And listen, has there been some sponsor issues and trying to find with a 4-car team, having multiple sponsors and all that, and then juggling that, and Mr. Hendrick putting his company on there? I just think it's great to see, and congratulations to Kyle Larson and the entire team. I think it's well-deserved. All right, let's take a look at something else that's popped up on the radar, and one of them is being that Petty GMS to use Joe Gibbs Racing pit crew members. So what does this mean? Yeah, so supposedly Kelly Crandall reported that Petty GMS Motorsports will use Joe Gibbs Racing pit crews next season. The number 42 team has begun to do so last week at Kansas, but both the 42 and 43 teams will use Gibbs crews next season. Petty GMS will remain a Chevy team next year. It does not affect their current contract. And I'm not sure how that works out, or if we can see Petty GMS making a change to Toyota after next year, but it'll be interesting to see how that one all plays out. But that was one of the big rumors coming out this week. The other one was as I mentioned, real quick, and speaking of Ford, we've got to throw some manufacturer news in there. Ford releases its NASCAR 2024 Mustang. So that'll be pretty cool to see that once it hits the track. Also, this old GOAT right here, and I mean GOAT, greatest of all time, John Force makes his 800th career start. Yeah, man, this guy is an animal. 73 years old, will make his start this weekend with the NHRA. Consider a rookie coming into the NHRA pro ranks next season. The schedule of races is 21 races for 2023. To reach 800 starts at 21 races per season, it would take that rookie 38 years to reach 800. And here is this GOAT. Yeah, that's right. Greatest of all time in the NHRA, John Force, making his 800. Congratulations. And a big egghead, man. He loves cooking on his eggs. So does his entire family. And we appreciate those guys, and congratulations to him. All right, so let me make mention, as I was talking about earlier, with the NASCAR 2023 season. We have Chicago Street Course coming on there. You have the last race at California, at the Auto Club Speedway, as I think it's Hillwood Properties are redeveloping it to be a short track. So that'll be neat. But this is the last time on that 2 mile course. So we'll look for that. We know that North Wilkesboro was brought in. We know that Darlington in there as well. Phoenix being the season finale, Miami still in there. The All-Star race, as I mentioned, going to North Wilkesboro. But the one thing I thought was pretty neat is to hear Chase Elliott talk about this in the media center, because it was brought up to his attention. Hear what he had to say. This is pretty interesting. And I don't think I disagree with the guy.
Yeah, I think a more compact schedule, in my opinion. But look, I don't make the rules, and nobody asks my opinion that does. So, and that's completely fine. I'm not asking for that job. I don't want that job. But I'm a firm believer that less is more in the sense of the timing of a schedule and when we could end our season to make the most for TV ratings and things of that nature. I think we could do better personally. And then as far as the night races go, there's a lot of Sunday afternoons we spend in some really hot environments, which is fine. I'm good with that. But if I was a fan sitting in the bleachers, I wouldn't be for 3.5 hours in August. I'd much rather do it at night, and enjoy night race number one, which I think is really cool, and the environment's really neat. This is the best race of the year, here under the lights, and I also understand that it's cool because we don't do it much. But I just think you see a lot of short tracks in places that run on Saturday night shows, and I think during the summer months, it's something that we should consider.
I agree. I totally agree. I love finishing before the football season starts. I love getting some of these races on night. I love to see more street courses, some short tracks in there. I love all of it. Chase Elliott for mayor. There's no doubt. All right. Watch out, Jeff Burton. All right, we're going to take a break here. Do you agree with them? Less is more? I want to hear from you. Email me at rob@RaceDay Nation. So it's rob@RaceDayNation.com. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. I'll close out the show and tell you what's coming up next right here on RaceDay Nation. Man, I can't believe it is over. Welcome back. It's RaceDay Nation. Rob D'Amico here. This show went by so fast. I think it had a lot to do with the drama that was in Bristol this weekend. Made for some great racing. Texas coming up for these guys. You also have the F1 guys heading to Singapore. Congratulations to our winners this past week. Ty Majeski getting the win in the trucks. It was Mr. Six-time there, Noah Gregston, and getting to victory lane for the second time in his career, Chris Beuscher. Congratulations to all you guys. And don't forget, I got to give props to the GOAT. Making his 800th start goes to John Force in the NHRA. Great stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. We do appreciate it. I'm Rob D'Amico, and I will see you next week.